Russia has been stalling its response to a potential ceasefire. There's a big call today scheduled between Trump and Putin. Will Putin accept the ceasefire? Who knows? But what we do know is that if Russia were to agree to a potential ceasefire, it wouldn't be without some major conditions. Conditions that could cripple Ukraine's sovereignty and security. So let's see what a couple of these might be and debunk their significance. First of all, Russia could demand that Ukraine abandon its NATO ambitions. Russia hates NATO. This isn't anything new. Russia views NATO expansion as a direct threat. In 2008, Ukraine and Georgia were literally this close to getting membership. But after a speech by Putin warning against it, the offer was pulled. And what happened next? In 2008, Russia invades Georgia. In 2014, it annexes Crimea. And in 2022, it launches a full-scale invasion against Ukraine. So yeah, no wonder Putin doesn't want Ukraine to be a part of NATO. Russia could also insist that Ukraine halt all defense production, leaving it vulnerable to future attacks. Because what better way to negotiate peace than to make sure your enemy can't defend itself? Russia might also push for the West to lift sanctions, which just so happened to be the one thing causing Russia so much difficulty when it comes to funding this war. And while we're on the topic of the West, Russia might also demand that Ukraine cut all military ties with the West. No more weapons, no more training, no more financial assistance. That would leave Ukraine completely isolated, essentially under Russia's thumb. But let's get to the biggest thing. Territory. Could Russia demand that Ukraine withdraw from all currently occupied regions? That would essentially be legitimizing illegal land grabs. No consequences, no accountability, just handing over Ukrainian land because Russia wants it. Think about what kind of a dangerous precedent that could set. Okay, so we have a bunch of these demands that Russia might set on Ukraine. Of course, they're all ifs and buts until we hear about what happens during that phone call between Russia and the US. But what if a ceasefire isn't reached? What if we don't need to talk about demands because Russia just says, nope, not interested? Could Russia then use this as even more of an excuse to continue aggression? And if a ceasefire is coming, well, what does that really mean? Is it really a step towards peace or just another moment of pause before something bigger happens? I'd love to know what you think.